Now, you two, I know, have worked together at least once before on the football film The Express about 5 years ago. I don't know how far back you go, if it's further than that, but what happens when the two of you get on a set, considering you're two people who have been working very steadily for a good amount of time? Do you kind of immediately start reminiscing about people that you know and other experiences you've had together?
Well, you left out one other credit that we have.
That's right.
Yes, I played, he plays Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob SquarePants. And I had the golden opportunity of playing Mr. Krabs' grandfather. So we had that.
That's included in our credits.
I was very skeptical that any farm film could be made that was going to be honest about how it's evolved over the years. But, you know, from the opening credits, or from the opening of this movie with that montage, you know, it's all a microcosm of how it's all evolved, from people getting their hands dirty to people sitting in the cabs, not even steering, thinking whatever thoughts they're thinking, which Dennis did so great. You know, this sort of how we've moved away from the earth, literally. How our food has become not a product of human labor anymore.
In Barani and seeing his films before, Chop Shop, Goodbye Solo, and Man Pushcart, and he has a very different point of view of America, and he's a master of his subject. He spent about a year out in Iowa, like living with people, going up and knocking on their doors, people like George Naylor, and really getting to know his subject. And you know, what he found is that these people they're not yokels. They're really sophisticated businessmen who step out their back doors into a multi-million-dollar operation. Basically, Wall Street has come to the Midwest, and the only thing missing are the skyscrapers.
But then Ramin, he's never made a movie with a movie star in it, or even actors really, except for Red and Goodbye Solo, that one.
And Red plays your dad.
Yeah,
and he was in one of Ramin's other films.
And so it's a real adventure for Ramin as well. But he couldn't have had a better lead, I think, and I thought he put together a pretty darn good cast. I think Zach is terrific as well. So, you know, he made it happen, and you don't pass up the opportunity to work with a tour.
Ramin and I did talk a lot about Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman before we did this, because that was his way. As I was talking about Wall Street coming to the Midwest before, but that's not really a story, and he needed a way into a human story with this. He didn't want to make a movie with an agenda that would preach at you. And Willie Loman was someone who was chasing the American dream so desperately, wanted to be number one in the eyes of his kids and his family, and also of himself. But yet he had corrupted himself in the process of doing that, and he presents this bravado to the world. Henry Whipple does that, confidence of success, but the cracks start to occur. I mean, I hope you can see in the film, and it becomes too much for him to bear.